In central Queensland, farmers and scientists have trialled the first Australian commercial crop of black sesame seed. At the moment, Australia imports all of its black sesame seed. The trial crop near Rockhampton grew during Queensland's warmest summer on record, proving it can cope in harsh conditions and drought. Rachel McGee reports for LANDLINE.
On a family-owned property 20 kilometres outside of Rockhampton, an Australian first is in the making. A commercial crop of black sesame seed is being harvested.
We planted in February, we're harvesting today. Just the results we've seen just with a quick run of the header now, it looks to have performed really well.
On his farm, Peter Foxwell grows cotton, corn, sunflowers and wheat, but his passion is agricultural research. He's been working with a nearby university for nearly 20 years, trialling a range of crops and fueling his love to see new things grow.
That excites me to be at the start of something. It may fail, it may be a complete success. We don't know, but that's part of the excitement. I mean, I enjoy watching things grow and particularly new crops that I've had no experience with. It's a learning experience for all of us involved. But that's good fun. You know, if it is the start of a serious crop for this region, then that's fantastic that we were involved at the beginning.
This time he's not just going to trial black sesame, he wants to grow it commercially.
We think there's potential to process close by or at least market easily close by in Queensland.
Drought is something Australian farmers and graziers have to live with, especially people like Peter Foxwell, who practices dryland farming. That's farming without irrigation, relying just on rain. Developing a product that can cope with this is an important part of the black sesame trial.
Sesame is considered to be one of the most drought-tolerant crops in the world. And we have taken this as an opportunity to look at how well the crop adapts to the dryland cropping in our region.
The trial also involves the specialised seed company Agriventus Technologies. The company wants to develop plants with higher yields, disease resistance and lower water requirements without using genetic modification technology.
Australian farmer growers are not normally gamblers, and they have some very trying difficulties. If they can count upon something that's a good partnership with them to grow, to ensure how they can undertake things and retire debt and certainly go ahead and turn their business into a profitable business, well, they're going to grow to rely upon that.
Well, 5 days of 40 degree plus, as it was.
There's been a lot of interest in what Peter Foxwell is doing, and he recently opened his farm to curious neighbours to explain. Last summer was Queensland's warmest on record, and only 120 millimetres of rain fell on the black sesame crop.
So to our surprise and to the surprise of the growers, we have been able to see a very attractive crop.
Yeah, that's a pretty good looking seed.
Australia imports all of its black sesame seed. It's mainly used to create cooking oil, but it can also be used for food flavouring, cosmetics, and it's claimed to have a lot of health benefits. It's even recently become a popular flavour of ice cream.
We can actually, I won't call the food wastage, more or less leftover hulls. We can actually turn it into black sesame ice cream as well, and different products, all the way to cosmetics. So we are currently looking into the potential.
It's about making as much use of the seed as possible. The hope is for the Australian-grown sesame seed to be as good as anything grown anywhere around the world, with the aim to export it.
We actually shared the information with some major buyers from overseas. The interest level is high, and some European company just made a recent visit.
As part of the trial, 12 different varieties were grown on 16 hectares with various yields. But on average, 1 hectare can produce 4.5 tonnes of seed and up to 60% of its weight in oil. At $1,600 per tonne, it's considered a high-value crop. Ali Tetik is from Turkey and is interested in the trial. He represents a large European consortium looking at agricultural opportunities in Australia.
We can take them to Turkey and produce them for our market, for our neighboring countries, and also continue producing here. And because you are close to the biggest market like China, India, it may be a good opportunity for us to produce here and export those countries as well.
While the trial has been successful, there is still a long way to go before it's grown and sold widely in Australia. This harvest will be used to test quality and seed next year's crop.
A tonne of seed would be able to plant around about 1,000 acres of a black sesame. So it creates an enormous potential very quickly.
What's happening here is an Australian first, but if things go right, it could be the start of something far greater.
There's been some discussion since that, which would tend to indicate to me that people are willing to give it a go. I'd say probably most of them would be keen for me to have a second year and see if it's such a success again in the second year, then they might have a crack. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement around the region.